Hello guys, if you can see and hear me, give me a thumbs up on the comments and hopefully everything is going fine because I can't quite see the playback at the moment. Just give it a few minutes to see if anyone jumps on. Looks like we are online. Let me know if you can hear me. Just do a quick mic check here, yes? Sounds good. We are online. You can jump on and join us very soon. Okay. Just posting up my links and let's see how many of you guys join me live. Okay, I'll start in a bit. Today I was just thinking of doing this it's a live video today because it's been quite a busy week, so it's been a bit hard to get a bit of time for me to really sit down and record something for you guys. But today basically I'll be talking a little bit about how life is working in the theater. So here in ARK-AV, as you know, I'm leading this YouTube channel, and we've been working in the theater and event space for quite some time now. So I just want to share a little bit about if for you guys who are looking at getting into a career in the theater, especially in technical production as stage crew. So if you're interested in looking in getting into work in theater, especially as a stage crew, as a freelancer, so this video will help you with that. Okay, so if you've been thinking about getting a dream job working in theater as a stage crew, so in this video I'll be talking about what it's like working in theater and events, and there are three important tips to help stage crew and especially freelancers to get the most out of your job and to get closer to your dream job as well. Yeah, so be sure to watch right to the end where I share a little bit of a tip for extra bonus tip to help you get ready for any type of event. Okay, so yeah, just my usual introduction. Yeah, I'm Rafi Dean here, and welcome to ARK-AV, your online resource for technical production. Right, on this channel we do tips, tools, and training to help you get the best performance for your gear and venue. So yeah, be sure to watch and read up all the descriptions in the section below. So check out the links below for more information about this video, and also any links that I would have added later on to find out a little bit more about the gear that we use for this channel. Okay, yes, so it'll be a good time today just to talk a little bit about what life is like working in the theater. So there are basically like two main types of people that would want to work in the theater. Of course, number one, you have the performers. So people who are really into music, arts, and performing, actors and actresses. So these guys are really into the front end of the theater, so to speak. So they are on the performing side of the stage. And the second type of people who would really love to work in theater are really the techie guys like me. So we are the guys who are really interested in the technology and sound, lighting, and video. And we really get involved in the hands-on stuff on how to make theater. So these are the two kinds of folks that really be involved and would really have a passion to work in theater. So of the two types, obviously I'm in the second category, right? So just a little bit of background about me. At a young age, I wasn't really too absorbed about what my dream job would be. And just to share a little bit, in fact, at when I was a young child at about 5 years old, my dream job I was thinking of is actually to be a manager of a Swenson's restaurant. And the only reason I wanted to be that is just so that I could eat all the ice cream I wanted. So I mean that's just the kind of dreams that I had when I was a child. But of course later on in school I developed a fascination for putting things together, taking things apart, building things, and that was really to confirm my passion for all things techie. So getting into a lot of the technology kind of stuff that really got me involved into all kinds of media. So let me know in the comments section below what your dream job was when you were a kid. So just share it with us and let me know. It will be interesting to see what each and every one of you have always wanted to be. And by right here, right now, we'll be talking about how to pursue a career in technical theatre, right? And of course, the many roles that you can do in this area of work. So we're looking at all sorts of roles and purposes to put to show together. So we're looking at people like working in workshop or carpentry. So these are the guys that actually build the set items. These are the guys that really get your architectural drawings from the set designers and they cut and mend and join stuff together so you can actually have a stage to perform on. So that's one area. And of course you have the sound engineers and sound designers. These are the guys that put together the auditory experience for the performance. So it's not just composers that we're talking about, but we're also talking about really systems designers, how you design the sound system for your venue and maybe a special surround sound system and all that. So that's also involved in the systems design for sound engineers. And of course there are the more artistic and creative end of it, which we call sound designers. Yeah. And next, of course, we have lighting designers, and lighting designers are quite simply the guys that create and illuminate the stage and venue. So these guys are important because they take direction from the script, so to show what kind of mood you could bring about with the different various types of colors and intensity of the light on stage. And of course you have the very important stage manager. So stage manager is someone that would call the cues for the show, work very closely with the director to make sure that everything runs smoothly, on time and accurately. So stage manager is a very important person and important member of the backstage crew. And of course you have sound and lighting board operators. These guys may not necessarily be the designers, but they program and operate the lighting or soundboard for the show. So the engineers, sound engineer and lighting designers may help to put up the design and how to play back the show. And the sound and lighting board operators would be the ones triggering and playing go. And of course we have very important guys that are running around backstage, the stagehands. Stagehands will be part of your running crew. So these guys will be moving the sets in and out as well as doing general work on stage, involving perhaps moving props, as well as just helping keep the wings clear and making sure the stage manager and the crew are able to do their job well. They take instructions clearly and move swiftly in the dark. And last but not least, we have fly and riggers. So flymans are the guys that operate the bars. It can be either a computerized system that you trigger by buttons, or you could use manual counterweight bars, which have to be properly balanced. So you have to have very skillful flymen that would be able to follow the timing that is required to bring the bars in and out. And of course, riggers are the guys that are very, 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 very important to make sure that you hang things, set items or props on the bars and make sure they are weighted properly, tied down, and done safely so that nothing crashes down on your head in the middle of a show. You don't want anything like that to happen. Yeah, so these are just a few of the different types of stage crew that you could have a hand in working with and working on a show with in theater. And of course, each of the roles have a very specific set of skills that you need to nurture over the years. Many professional crew, they started out really with no experience or very little relevant experience, and they learn the skills along the way. So other than skill sets, there are of course very important non-negotiables that you have to understand before stepping into this industry. So in the theater industry, you have to know that you will work weekends and holidays. That's a given. You'll definitely have shows that will happen on the weekend and on holidays. So it is something that you have to consider. And of course, 14-hour days are norm during your production week. So we're talking about coming in at 9, going for a lunch break at 1, back in the theater at 2, then a dinner break at 6, and you go all the way till 11. So they put that all together as a 14-hour day with 2 hours meal break in between. And it can go as stretches for as long as like 3 days to up to 2 weeks in the theater where you're running 14-hour days. So it can get a little bit tiring if you're not used to that kind of hours. And thirdly, they are important to note that things change all the time in the theater. There's always things that are they need to be adjusted, or the director thinks about how the scene change is got to be moved. And there are little things that you have been practicing along the way, and suddenly someone comes in and says, hey, we got to do it differently. So you have to be able to adapt to change. So these are 3 things that you have to understand about this industry. And it's very normal that you have this expectations, especially if you're new and it's not something that you came from this industry, or you did something totally different. So when you're coming to this might be a shocker to you. But do remember that these are quite standard in this industry. And of course, despite all the magic that theatre helps to kind of give us this awe and wonder of the type of show that we do, I think the most important thing that for us that at working in theatre is we have this passion to see like dreams come alive, and you can see almost anything happen on stage. It takes a lot of work, of course, to put together a show, but the magic of it is that you can create a whole other experience on stage using just the tools that you have in your hands. So you could make human beings fly. You could shine a ray of light to make it look really like a heavenly place, or even like a Jack and a beanstalk, get a beanstalk growing out from underneath the stage all the way to the grid. We've seen things like that happen. That's the fun part of working in theatre. And of course, there are some benefits that are attractive for some folks. You people like me who are very techie guys, we like to work with our hands. Working in theatre gives me an opportunity to constantly play with new and old technology. We're talking about stuff like a sound and lighting equipment, or even video equipment. When something new comes around, we can kind of have a chance to work with new technology. And of course, you also, like I mentioned earlier, the magic of theatre is something that's really fantastical. And one of the positive parts about working here is, you help to bring the dreams of others into reality. And it really helps to kind of create a whole new environment, and it suspends the reality for these people in a live audience, right? So that's something amazing that we really I really enjoy for working in theater. And of course, after you're out of production week and you're going into your running shows, your work hours tend to be a little bit more flexible. So you just come in for your call times just before the show starts for your preset and all this. So you're not really practicing a 9 to 5 office hour, which is a blessing to some. Like for me, I love it when it's you kind of work with my I can work with my schedule and kind of plan my time accordingly without being strapped down by a 9 to 6 kind of desk job. So that's the fun part about working in the arts that I really enjoy. So before we get into a lot of more details, I just want to share 3 quick tips on how you can get yourself better at what you do, and in the process of it, you can get yourself a dream job in this industry by just following these 3 main important factors. Okay, so number 3 is to be punctual. Yeah, it's the saying goes, early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable. So always be punctual on set. This is a very important characteristic for anyone working in entertainment, events, and in the arts. It's because time is money in this industry, especially when you're booked time in the venue. If you book time from 9 a.m., you're expected to start work at 9 a.m. and the doors open, you gotta go. So if you're a few minutes late, someone else ends up doing the work for you, and that's not acceptable at all. Yeah, so be punctual, especially for shows and events where you have a lean crew, where you have just a few people running everything. You can't afford to drop out at the last minute or show up an hour, 2 hours late, and everyone will be scrambling and making things work, and it's a very highly stressful scenario. So try to stay away from that. Yeah. So number 3, be punctual. Next, it's to be proactive, right? Help fellow crew members out wherever you need a hand. Yeah. Skiving through gets you nowhere in this industry. It's very obvious, especially if you're a stage crew backstage and we see you kind of just lurking in the shadows, not really doing anything. It's very obvious. Everybody knows if someone is skiving. So being proactive helps you stand out and show that you're a hard-working crew and you're someone that is consistent as well. Yeah, so a helpful and proactive crew is always remembered, and more importantly, a helpful and proactive person is always recommended for more jobs. So if you're seen as someone that's always active, always helping out, and genuinely a helpful person, it's very likely that the production managers, stage managers, or even fellow crew members would always remember you and recommend you to other productions if you're looking for more work. Yeah, so being proactive is very important as well. And of course, the number 1 tip for this would be to be a superstar, head mag, or lighting designer, or sound engineer from the get-go. You have to make sure that you stay grounded. Everyone starts somewhere, so don't despise the days of small beginnings. Yeah, we all started by pushing boxes and coiling cables and just getting down and dirty on the ground. So it's very important to stay humble and always be teachable, willing to learn from someone else. Yeah, so learn the ropes from someone who is more senior than you. So someone that's a more senior stage crew, a member of the production that's willing to share the knowledge that he has. It's a good time to really listen and put it to practice. So be humble and just take on whatever roles that you have. Be willing to learn something new from everyone. Even for example, if you're just a sound guy, but if someone needs help with lighting, you can say, hey, even though it's not your area, but you can humble yourself and say, hey, I'm willing to help, and you can step up and do the job. And that helps you to really hone your skills and get better at what you do. Yeah, so to summarize, right? So number 3, you have to be punctual and never be late. Everyone wants to start on time and end on time. Number 2, be proactive, right? Be helpful, and you get remembered, and you get recommended for other jobs. And lastly, of course, be humble. When you're humble, you're willing to learn from those that are senior, and just learn. Yeah, so just a bonus tip before I go. Bonus tip is basically something that just to get you up and running, and very quickly, and very very organized, right? So the important thing as a crew member, you always have lots of tools with you, am I right? So you got your spanner set, or you got your Leatherman. So it's important. Bonus tip for you is that you just get yourself a utility belt and a small utility pouch, and you can get all your little hand tools in your pouch, and you have it with you all the time. So this is useful when you're running around backstage, and someone calls out and say, hey, I need to tighten something. You already have something on you. You don't need to run out to the storeroom to find in the toolbox, right? So you already have your tools right by your side. So get yourself a utility pouch that you can strap onto your belt, and you're ready to go all the time. Okay, and if you want to find out a little bit more about my top 10 tools, I did a video just a couple of weeks ago. I have top 10 tools for technical production crew. Just check out the links in the YouTube card above there. I'll put the link below in the description as well, right? So just a extra little thing before just a free resource for you who are listening now. And of course, if you can't tune in playlist, yeah, so check out the replay, and you can just let me know in the comments below if you have any other tips or any other topics that you like us to hit. Because I always say planning ahead saves you time and money. Template that'll help you with planning that you have on. So it's to really check each other in or Instagram. Just before I go, and next week we'll be back to our regular Rafi at ARK-AV.com. Yeah, so thanks for watching the topics that you would like us to cover on this channel. Yeah, so follow us on Facebook and training at ARK-AV. So I'll see you joining me on the